Duke running back Jordan Waters announced a commitment out of the transfer portal to NC State. That is the number 3 running back in the transfer portal, according to 247 Sports. And this is meaningful for a few reasons. One, we'll start with the Duke side of it. We had seen players from Duke, Jaquez Moore, go into the portal before Manny Diaz was named their new head coach. And then once Manny Diaz was named the new head coach, take his name out of the portal and remain at Duke. So there was hope among the Duke football program that and fan base that somebody like Waters might make a similar move. So now he is on the way out, and with the commitment to NC State, he's not coming back. From NC State's perspective, from NC State's side of things, this is true. They've now got the complete brand new offense set. We talked about it like the Infinity Gauntlet from Marvel. Dave Doeren went into the portal and has essentially not rebuilt, but added a lot of new pieces to the offense. A couple pieces on the defense, but it's so much more dramatic on offense. Quarterback, Grayson McCall out of Coastal Carolina, expected to be the starter. Up front, 2-year starter from Notre Dame, Zeke Correll, on the interior of the offensive line. Justin Jolie was or maybe, depending on which service you're looking at, either the top 1 or top 2 tight end in the transfer portal. Wesley Grimes, a player that was a big NC State target coming out of high school, out of Wake Forest. They got him to commit to Raleigh. And the last piece they were looking for was a running back, and Jordan Waters is that, right? He is that. I had a stat here in front of me that I'm going to pass along. He led the ACC in rushing touchdowns this past year.
12.
That's pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
The ACC is, despite what the College Football Playoff Committee wants to tell you, there's some pretty good competition in the ACC. It's also, and this is one of the phenomena that we mention every time this kind of transaction happens. He had an 85-yard touchdown run against NC State last year that ended up being one of 2 explosive plays that won the game for Duke. So in the, whatever it ends up being 9 or 10 seconds that he was running into the end zone, Dave Doeren might have been thinking, sure would be nice to have that guy on the squad, right? As he completed one of the more impressive runs of the season against that NC State defense. I mean, it's that or it's the Audric Estime who's going pro at a Notre Dame running back. Those were the 2 guys that kind of got him for those kinds of runs. And now, you got one on your side. Do you know what this also means? It means people are looking around and they're appreciating what NC State did this year. And they're understanding, like, hey, they got this defense run by Tony Gibson that is pretty darn good. And if they put an offense together with it to do a little bit more explosive, to chase downfield a bit more, to have some more big plays, there could be something special happening there. That's a big if, but all of these guys committing to it are believing in it, both their role in it and their ability to figure it out. There's also a strong recruiting class out of high school coming in, especially at the wide receiver position. And some would say, 1 or 2 of those wide receivers might be built more like a running back and might be, hey, once you get on campus, well, we're going to use you a bunch of different ways. Why don't we line you up out of the backfield? Oh, look at that. You had 15 carries between the tackles. Huh. You're still a receiver, though.
Yeah. H-back.
Yeah, we'll put you in number 88 so you look like a wide receiver, and then we're going to run the ball. Their offense is going to look completely different next year as far outside of one guy, KC Concepcion.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, when you watched this team at times this year, what was their offense? KC Concepcion, right? It was how many different ways can they get the ball to KC Concepcion, and can he make 3 or 4 big plays, which would be enough for that defense to win the game? So State said, all right, if our entire offense is KC Concepcion, let's go ahead and secure him, which they did, right? The Savage Wolves got him to ink the contract or signed him or locked him in. I don't know the proper terminology, but he's locked in for next year. And they went and brought, a better number 2, a running back, a tight end, all of these different guys that can make his life a bit easier and can take advantage of the attention he's going to draw. So the transfer portal Very good for NC State.
By the way, Waters, for those who may not know, is a graduate student. This is the final year of his eligibility. He had a redshirt freshman season in 2019, only played in 4 games, had the COVID year in 2020. So he's played 5 years of college football already, much like Grayson McCall has. So an older guy not only just gets it in terms of between the years, having experienced it, but also just physically more mature as well than an 18-year-old coming out of high school.
Graduated from Duke with a sociology degree and a minor in psychology, in May of 2023. But also running back, it's a good point you brought up, the 1 year of eligibility. I am a little worried about bringing in a quarterback on one year of eligibility left, because learning a brand new offense is tough, right? And just the terminology and everything, and quarterback has so much on their plate. I'm not as worried with a running back. If you look at the NFL, rookie running backs can often be super effective, even if you look at some guys that started like 3rd or 4th on the depth chart, and then the starters get hurt. They can pop in and be. There is an element of
Keaton Mitchell.
Keaton Mitchell is a prime example. Achane, a prime example. There's a bunch of them every year, and part of it is because running back, so much of it is instincts. So much of it is like the vision of it is you either see it or you don't. And I know you can press the hole and you can watch film and try to do all that, but so much of it is instinct. And Jordan Waters showed this past year at Duke. He's got a lot of instinct. Knows for the goal line, knows for some big runs, and that's exactly what NC State needs. So I think that is, outside of Grayson McCall, which obviously quarterback is always going to kind of be top of the to-do list, top of the grocery list, I think this is one of the more important transfer polls they've had, and they've got some other very good ones. But I think that one was pretty darn important, pretty big for them when you look at the way their roster is constructed.